So today we are going to be talking about accelerating your growth in 2023, simple things you could do and put in place, thinking beyond New Year resolutions, and also figuring out why your New Year resolution didn't work in previous years and how you can do better in the coming year. The new year is fast approaching, and now is the best and the perfect time for you to plan and decide how you would like your new year to be, envision your growth, how you want your life to be, and create exactly the life that you want. Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know what to do, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Before we get into the details of how you would begin to accelerate your growth in 2023, let's talk about why your resolutions or your plans for the current year did not work. So you need to take some time, sit down, identify those things that may or may have not affected your growth this year. Then you would have to make corrections to them in 2023. Some of those reasons why your New Year resolution might have failed is because maybe they are just too big. Now, I'm not saying that anybody's dream is too big or invalid, but you have to put in the right timeline and the right structure towards that kind of dream that you want to create. What you would have to do to correct that is, even though you have such a large or a big dream, you have to break them down into smaller portions that you can achieve and work on, instead of just having this massive big goal that you want to get, and it would become almost impossible for you to envision how you want to achieve it. The second reason why your New Year resolution might have failed is because they are too vague. Now, for you to have a goal, it has to meet all of the characteristics of a SMART goal. If your goals are not specific, then they become too vague, and when it's too vague, it starts to seem unrealistic and not clearly defined. Now, what you need to correct in the coming year is to make sure that your goals are not vague. You specify exactly what you want to do. So if you have a goal of maybe attaining a new career, you have to be specific. Okay, I want to get a new job as a ... You have to specify exactly what you want and the timeline as to when you want to achieve it. It has to also be something realistic, something that you're working towards, that you know that you can achieve. So you can't just say you want to work as a medical doctor next year and you don't have the academic qualification for it, you don't have the experience for it. That dream is really big and very vague. So you have to break it down. Do you enroll in medical school? What are those things that you need to do? Specify exactly what you need to do. Third reason why your New Year resolution might have failed is because they are really not your resolution. They are other people's resolution. So someone else could have said, I want to be fit this year, and because your friend or someone out there said they want to do that, then you also make it your own goal. That's really not what you want for yourself. You're just copying it because that's what somebody said or it sounds good to you, then that's why you're trying to implement it for yourself. So you need to sit down and think, are those goals or resolutions that I've stated, are they really things that I want for myself, or are they things that people want for me or other people's ideas? You want to make sure that you are not living someone else's race and you are chasing your own personal goals. The fourth reason as to why your New Year resolution might have failed is because you expect the change now. This very minute, you said you wanted to lose 20 pounds, and at the end of the month, if you're not saying that you have lost 20 pounds, you give up and you go back to the lifestyle that you wanted to quit. Or you said you wanted to change your career or get a new job, and because you applied to a couple of jobs, you didn't get an interview, then you just give up and you can no longer pursue that goal or that interest anymore. So you have to know that even though it's something that you want, you can't expect those changes right now. Give it some time and you'll be able to attain the goals that you have set for yourself. With that being said, you need to take some time and have a sit down with yourself. Look at how your 2022 turned out and pick those things that you don't want to repeat in 2023. Once you identify all those things, make sure that you are adding your new year resolution for the year 2023, and they are smart. Things that you can measure, things that you can split, things that you can work towards and achieve. Once you do that, then you have taken the first and the most important step. Now, how do you accelerate your growth in the year 2023? Think of your life like a pyramid, where you have your vision on top of it, then you have your yearly or your annual goals. Then you also break it down into quarterly goals like your 12-week plan or 3 months plan. Then at the end or the bottom of that pyramid, you would be having the actionable items or plan that you would put in place to achieve your vision. Let's break down what each of these items in this pyramid entails. So your vision is pretty much the kind of lifestyle that you want for yourself. Your dream job, your dream career, your dream financial life, your dream relationship. If you're not sure of what to do or how to even envision your life, think about the wheel of life, where you have your career, you have your financial goal, you have your health plan, you have your relationship, you have your spirituality, personal growth, fun and recreation, and all that. So when you look at these 8 items on the wheel of life, it will help you define and see those areas of your life that you want to create a vision towards. Your vision is pretty much you thinking big. It's more like your mood board, what you want for yourself in your future, how you would like your lifestyle to be like. So you have to create this compelling vision, something that you can visualize, you can see. And what I would recommend, or what I like to do, is I like to print out pictures of the kind of things I want for myself. So things like my dream car, my dream apartment, how I would like my bedroom to look like, and this kind of different things that I really want for myself, how I want to see myself in the next few years. So have that big vision for yourself. Now, it's very normal for along the way you might had more interest or tweak a few things here and there, but you still have the same master plan and design as to how you want your life to turn out. Once you have that mental picture of the vision that you want for yourself, you can also have like a vision statement where you have short lines or short paragraphs of the kind of life that you want. So things like, if my life was perfect, or in a perfect world, I would want to be this and that and that, like da. Fill in the blank and write that down in maybe your journal or your notepad. What I'm personally doing is I'm using Notion, and I also use Google Docs sometimes, where I can just add pictures of these things that I want to see in my life in the coming year. So now that you have the vision of where you want your life to be in few years time, you now have to break down that vision into yearly planning. So with your yearly planning, it's like things that you can achieve within a period of 1 year. So sit down and decide, what are those goals that you can accomplish in the coming year? This should be something that you feel or you believe that you can complete within the span of 365 days. What can you achieve in the year 2023? First thing you need to do to identify those things that you can achieve in 2023 is to create a space. Find a space that is private to you, or you can be by yourself or with someone that would inspire you, and you can think together, rub minds together. So when you have that space, note how the previous year went, review the previous year as a whole, those things that you've been able to achieve, and those things that you started but couldn't finish off and need to continue in the next year. So note all of those things down as well. Track your progress, figure out what worked, what did not work, what do you need to correct, or what do you need to improve on. How do you feel about the previous year? Sometimes you might find that the previous year turned out totally different from what you wanted for yourself. It's time to abandon the past in the past and design exactly what you want for the coming year. So if the previous year also impacted, or maybe impacted positively in your long-term vision, then you just need to find those things that you were not able to accomplish in the previous year and add them to the new year. So now that you have created your 1-year vision, you should have a new year resolution or list of all of those goals that you plan to accomplish by the end of 2023. Create a goal list and sort them or write them in the order of priority. Identify the ones that are your primary goals, such that if you are able to achieve them, it will really make you feel like you had a successful year, and note them down. Also break those goals into actionable plans, like smaller pieces that you can achieve over the year. Once you have your yearly plan, you now need to start designing your quarterly plan. Your quarterly plan is the same thing as your 3-month goal or your 12-week plan, where you break down all of this plan that you have set for yourself for the whole year into achievable and realistic goals. So during your 12-week year, you have all of those things that you want to achieve by the end of the quarter. On quarterly basis, you will do an assessment of where you wanted to be, where you are at right now, and if there are things that you need to correct or make amendments of. So this is going to be like your 3-month plan and all of those things that you want to do by the end of 3 months for each of the quarters in the year of 2023. At this point, what I like to do is I would create a system that flows into one another. So what I like to do is my goals for the first quarter would kind of spill into the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. You don't necessarily have to do it the exact same way. You could have different goals that you set for yourself at each point of the year. So maybe you could have something like, for the first quarter you want to complete an online course or do a training. Then the second quarter you want to start applying for new jobs, get a new job, or switch your career, get into a new field. That will be something that flows right after you completed the online course or the training. By the end of the second quarter, you would expect to probably have gotten a job and you're now settling into your new job. Then by the third quarter, you should be planning how you would enhance yourself, get additional certification, how to improve in that field that you're at. You learn the work environment, you learn the work culture, see how you can grow in that role. Learn and master how to be a better person or how to be a good employee in that role. Then for the fourth quarter, you can now start thinking big. Okay, do I want to switch my career, or do I want to become a manager or a team lead? Just take a look at what you want to do across the year. By the end of the year, what is your goal for your career? So that's just an example of how maybe your goals could flow from each quarter into one another. Also, you could say your individual goals for each quarter are totally different from one another. So for the first quarter, you can have a major goal of saying, I want to switch my job. The second quarter, you want to make more money, save more money, or start up your side business or your main business if that's what you want. Then the third quarter, you can start looking at, okay, I want to start focusing on eating healthy, working out, reaching out to people, and building more better quality lifestyle for myself. Then the fourth quarter, you can also plan to work on something totally different for yourself. So it's totally up to you and what you have envisioned your life to be like. Have those quarterly goals that you set for a 3-month vision and work towards them. Now that you have set your 3-month plan, it's time to define the actionable items. Your actionable items will be broken down into like monthly feedback or weekly feedback. Every day you want to make sure that you are completing certain tasks that will help you achieve your 3-month goal. Just make sure that you are setting realistic goals for each month and defining them clearly, breaking them down into smaller bits. So another thing could be maybe you decide that, okay, in order for me to achieve that long-term goal of being fit at the end of the quarter, then you have to work out 2 times a week or 3 times a week and incorporate that lifestyle on your weekly basis. So maybe every Mondays, Thursdays, and exact days you design that on these days of the week I have to go to the gym. With your actionable plans, you would have your daily task, your weekly task, and your monthly task. At the end of each month, you review and see those tasks that you were not able to cross off. You can also do it on weekly basis. I personally prefer to sometimes use weekly planner because I can have like more things planned and work towards them like in different ways. So make sure that your actionable plans are things that are very flexible and you can move things around here and there. With that being said, you have to be intentional about all of these things. Once you put them down to note, that's also another thing. Some of this vision or this plan or ideas that you have, don't just think about them in your head. Note them down somewhere, write them somewhere. Just make sure that you have like a planner that you're working with and you can see from time to time how things look like. I prefer to do them on my computer. Sometimes I use Google Doc as well, or Google Sheets, just so that I can really easily access it on the go on any of my devices, maybe my phone or tablet. What you need to do is look at this vision, look at this plan every single day. Once you take a look at them and you're like, okay, this is exactly what I want for myself, and you look at it from time to time, it creates a memory. You get to remember every single day those things that you want to do, and you don't forget where you want to be. So from time to time, do check in, track your progress, assess what you have done, and see if there's any room for things like improvement or modification. If you also have an accountability partner, reach out to them. You guys could plan like maybe monthly or weekly check-ins, just something that will work for both parties, and see those rooms or things that you need to correct, things you need to amend. Plan them out, and most importantly, be intentional. This is your life. Remember that you are trying to accelerate your growth this year, and you can't be caught already. You can't be slacking behind. Sit down tight, make that plan, surround yourself with people that would inspire you, motivate you, and work towards that goal that you have set for yourself. I know for a fact that there is nothing impossible for anyone to achieve once you set your mind to it. So I highly encourage you to take some time and implement all of these ideas that I've mentioned in this video. That's about it for this video. If you enjoy watching it, give it a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.